Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies, man. Pelicans lose. Pelicans lose 107 to 103. And I know before anyone says it in the comments, I know it's a Drew Brees and Saints intro for a Pelicans video. Hey, just deal with me. Bear with me. Give me a couple days. I'm still working on that. But, man, Pelicans lose. Good games from Vale, 18, 11, and 6. Solid game from him. CJ McCollum was on fire for the most part. 32, 6, and 4. Larry Nance is coming along, man. Still under a minutes restriction. I think he'll be real good. Jose Alvarado had a great game. 23, 5, and 5 off the bench, man. He was much better than Devontae Graham. I would say we should insert him in that starting lineup, but that energy off the bench right now is really all we have off that bench. So we're gonna kind of have to keep him there until Brandon Ingram comes back. And obviously when Brandon Ingram comes back, this offense gets more dynamic. This team gets more dynamic, and then they'll have a better shot at this play-in game. This would have been a real big game, to win for the Pels to not secure a play-in spot, but to, create some space, get himself a gap and some room to work with in the play-in standings. Right now, they are the 10th seed. They're only a half game behind the Lakers and the full game in front of the San Antonio Spurs. So it's three teams, fighting for two spots, the Lakers, the Pels, and the Spurs. And may the best two teams get it, man. Obviously, the Pels have gotten very unlucky because Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum basically, been out this last month or so. Obviously, CJ's back now, but still missing Brandon Ingram. When he comes back, man, this team has a real good shot of being that 9 seed and getting a home game in that first play-in game. That would be super huge. I'm not going to overreact to one game. It would have been nice to win that game. But like I said, man, just being competitive without Brandon Ingram is fine with me. The loss isn't the end of the world. The Lakers have a brutal schedule, brutal schedule to end the season, and the Pelicans play them twice. The Pelicans can beat them twice, knock them out of the play-in. It's just kind of, the little small rivalry between the Lakers and the Pels ever since the AD trade. If the Pels can get in the play-in game and knock the Lakers out, I'm sure that'll make a lot of people happy. Me personally, I want the Pels to get in the play-in game. I know a lot of people don't care because, let's be real, the Pels won't be making a championship run this year. But, man, to get these guys in the play-in game, even if they don't make the playoffs, that experience, those win-or-go-home games, these guys have never been there. Like, none of these guys have been in that, intensity, that type of game. So just getting one of those games in, or maybe even getting the playoff series out of it, even if they get swept 5 games, whatever, the fans can come to a home game and things like that in the playoffs. That'll be super big for the franchise, for the city. So I'm hoping they can get in this play-in game and make some noise, man. Tough loss tonight, but like I said, no panic. I still think they're in the driver's seat to get one of those 2 spots. It's only 8 games left. 8 games left, man. You got the Lakers, who obviously are playing for the play-in. You got the Trailblazers, who are tanking, so they want to lose that game. You got the You got the Lakers again, obviously big game. You got the Clippers, who's basically at the AC. They're resting their players. They're putting their players on cap. Then you got the Sacramento Kings. They're not in it. They're done. They're tanking. Portland again, they're tanking. Then you have Memphis, who job probably is going to be out into the playoffs. Then you have Golden State to end the year for the last game, and they may be resting players as well because the season's going to be over last game of the year. Seating purposes may be on the line or may not be. So it's looking like the Pels have a great shot of getting in the play-in game, man. Hopefully they can do it. And now you can just look at a team like the Lakers and just look at their schedule. Their schedule is going to be tough. Obviously they have those 2 games against the Pelicans. If they split those or lose both, it's going to be tough for them. They have the Pelicans, Dallas, Utah, the Pelicans again, Denver, Phoenix, Golden State, Oklahoma City, Denver. And Denver's probably going to be trying to get out of that number 6 or 7 spot because they're number 6 right now by a half game. Them in Minnesota are fighting to get out of that play-in spot. So those are going to be tough games. Utah's a tough game. The Lakers have a tough road, to get in the play-in game. So we'll see what that does, man. But I'm only really worried about the Pelicans right now. I think they have an easy schedule. They should get in this play-in game, man. They should get in this playoff atmosphere type game. And hopefully it's a home game. So even if they lose that game, man, just the fans to get that one type of playoff atmosphere, the players to get that one game playoff atmosphere type game, that would be huge for the franchise moving forward. And I'm ready to see where it takes us, man. Obviously, we need to get healthy. We need to get guys on the court. But I'm excited to see where this season, these last 2 weeks hold for us, man. Hopefully they get in that play-in game like I said. But Pels lose to the Spurs 107-103. Not the end of the world, but they need to bounce back. Hopefully get guys healthy so they get in this play-in game. But as always, man, it's the Boot Tragedies, and I'm out.